Hey there traders, this is Steve Miley, the market chartist for FX Explained, and another one of our regular weekly macro watch updates for the week commencing the 31st of May 2021. European averages take the lead as indices probe higher. So let's first of all take a look at the macroeconomic and geopolitical developments over the past week as we run into the end of May. Well, quite weak in financial markets over the past week with modest central bank activity and a relatively light data calendar. We did, however, see the RBNZ express a more hawkish tone than market expectations on Wednesday, and this led to a significant push higher through the middle of last week for the New Zealand dollar across the FX board, posting significant gains, breaking out of a range, the May range to the upside that had been established over the past month, and retaining an underlying bullish tone for the Kiwi dollar. Cryptocurrencies remain volatile as well, with Bitcoin unable to hold on to rebounds since the plunge that we saw earlier in May. Let's now take a look at the global financial market developments for the past week ending the 28th of May. Well, the Euro stocks pushed higher to a new cycle high. European stock averages leading global averages higher in here, taking the lead away from their US counterparts, and a far more bullish tone in here for the Euro stocks. Similar breakouts to the upside seen also for the DAX and other European indices. And global indices are strengthening in here. A consolidation tone at the end of last week for the Nasdaq 100 in here. But big tech, which has been under pressure, starting to recover, starting to push back to the upside, and aiming back to recent cycle highs in here for the Nasdaq, and all-time highs posted back here earlier this year. So looking for upside pressures to return in here for the global stock indices as big tech and the whole technology sector starts to recover again, having had that sell-off earlier this month. On the Forex side in here, the US dollar has been relatively weak in here really from April and through May, but starting to form a base in here. Here's the US dollar index. The US dollar holding at support from early 2021. We've dipped down here on a number of occasions over the past week and rebounded from above this 2021 support and trying to form a base in here for the US dollar index. And similarly on the flip side, the euro unable to push higher, having nudged above the late February peak in here last week. The market unable to build on that and finding strong resistance up at the 2021 high and setting back in here at the moment. So some cautious resistance for the euro versus the dollar. And where the dollar has been particularly strong is against the yen. We're in this risk-on environment again, and a turn back into that risk-on environment has seen the dollar post some significant gains and breaking out above the May peak in here last week, and back up through 110 on Friday. Gold has continued its push higher, this strong base pattern we put in back in March and through April, and the recovery of April through May has extended higher over the past week. And this is despite, and if anything, a slight strengthening of the US dollar. And oil has rebounded, having had a notable setback from a new multi-year high. Oil rebounding last week and posting another new multi-year high. And similarly for copper in here, COMEX copper did get that setback in here earlier in May, again from a new multi-year high, but rebounding towards the end of last week and trying to re-energize that bullish threat. So let's take a look at the week ahead, the week commencing the 31st of May 2021. Well, it's a holiday in the UK on the 31st on Monday. Local markets are closed both in the UK and in the US. Memorial Day in the US and the late May spring bank holiday here in the UK. So we're going to see global markets probably going to be relatively quiet on Monday, given these two large parts of the global market are going to be closed, the UK and the US. We're going to continue to monitor for lockdown easings in Europe, particularly in Europe, and also watching for COVID cases, hospitalizations and deaths globally. Watching out for India in here, number of cases falling in India, but also watching out for that Indian variant spread into maybe Europe, we're certainly seeing a spread in the UK, potentially into Europe and maybe even into the US. On the central bank side, it's fairly quiet in here. We have the Reserve Bank of Australia interest rate decision and statement on Tuesday. Let's take a look at the data. There's a busy data week, having had a quiet data week. We start off the week fairly quiet with those UK and US holidays, but we have Chinese PMI and German CPI on Monday, and then it starts to get more interesting. We get that RBA interest rate decision and statement on Tuesday, but then we get global market manufacturing PMI. We get German unemployment, EU CPI and EU employment, and then US ISM manufacturing PMI all on Tuesday to kick off the month on the 1st of June. On Wednesday, we get Australian GDP and German retail sales. Thursday brings global market services and composite PMI data, as well as the US ISM services PMI data. And we round off the week on Friday the 4th of June with the US employment report and the Canadian employment report. I'm going to say to you all, thanks very much for listening. Please do hit that like button if you like what you've seen, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And I'm going to wish you all a great trading week. So traders, don't forget to catch us on the next FX Explained Macro Watch and all the great content on fxexplained.co.uk.